Any station, this is Mako 3-0. We are in heavy contact. We have 2 urgent casualties. Request immediate CAS. That sound, that raw, unfiltered panic in a soldier's voice. It's a sound that cuts through the static and tells you one thing. Men are about to die. It's March 4th, 2002, Operation Anaconda. In the thin, freezing air of the Shah-i-Kot Valley, Afghanistan, a team of US Army Rangers is trapped. They're surrounded, outnumbered, and taking direct fire on a barren, exposed mountainside. Their situation is not just dire, it is seconds away from becoming a catastrophe. They've called for close air support for a fighter jet to scream in and save the day. But the enemy is so close, they're practically sharing the same rocks. One misplaced bomb, one error in calculation, one misheard word on the radio, and the jet will kill the very men it's trying to save. This is the story of a desperate battle, a fearless pilot callsigned Lucky Devi, and a 500-knot lifeline stretched across the sky. A story where there was absolutely, positively, no room for error. Welcome to top-tier TV. To understand the sheer desperation of that radio call, you have to understand the setup. Operation Anaconda was the largest ground operation of the early Afghan war, designed to smash Al-Qaeda and Taliban forces concentrated in the Shah-i-Kot Valley. But the intelligence was fatally flawed. The Rangers of Mako 3-0 weren't facing a few dozen fighters. They were facing a well-armed, dug-in force of over 1,000, prepared to fight to the death. The team was inserted by helicopter onto what they called the Finger, a razorback ridge overlooking the valley. But instead of securing the high ground, they were immediately pinned down. Enemy fighters were above them, on adjacent ridges, and in spider holes and caves below. They were caught in a brutal 360-degree fight. Crack of sniper rounds, the steady thump of mortar fire, the relentless chatter of machine guns. This was the reality for Mako 3-0. Within minutes, the situation turned critical. Sergeant Philip Svitek, the team's heroic helicopter door gunner who had volunteered to stay on the ground with the Rangers, was killed by machine gun fire while laying down suppressing fire. Another Ranger was shot through the leg. They were low on ammo, low on water, and running out of time. Their only hope was a miracle from the sky. But bringing in a multi-million-dollar fighter jet, moving at the speed of sound, to strike a target mere meters from your own position, it's the most dangerous gamble a soldier can take. Answering the call that day was a US Air Force F-15E, Strike Eagle pilot, call sign Lucky Devi. He was miles away, but that desperate radio transmission pulled him in like a magnet. He wasn't just hearing a request, he was hearing the voices of men who knew they might not make it. But his job was phenomenally complex. He's flying at over 500 knots. That's nearly 600 miles per hour. The guys on the ground are moving at human speed. From 5 miles up, the entire ridge looks like a jagged gray mess. Distinguishing a Ranger from a Taliban fighter from a shadow is impossible. This is where the true unsung hero of this story comes in. The Joint Terminal Attack Controller, the JTAC. This is the soldier on the ground, often himself under fire, whose sole job is to be the bridge between the chaos below and the technology above. He speaks the language of both the infantryman and the pilot. On the Finger that day, the JTACs were the literal lifeline. They had to guide Lucky Devi's eye. The JTAC would use a laser designator to paint the target, pointing an invisible laser beam at the enemy position. Lucky Devi's targeting pod would then detect that laser, and if everything worked perfectly, a laser-guided bomb would fly right down that beam. The margin for error? A few feet. The laser could slip, the bomb could guide incorrectly. A single miscommunication over the radio about coordinates would be fatal. They were asking for a surgical strike while the patient was on the operating table, and the table was on fire. The first bomb run was too risky. The geometry was wrong. Lucky Devi aborted. The Rangers on the ground heard the jet scream overhead, but no explosion. The wait was agonizing. Every second stretched into an eternity, each one punctuated by the crack of incoming rounds. Lucky Devi swung his massive fighter around for another pass. The JTAC, with bullets kicking up rocks around him, held the laser steady. His voice, though calm on the radio, belied the hell unfolding around him. He talked the pilot in, using landmarks only someone on the ground could see. Target is at the base of the large boulder, just east of the smoke grenade we threw. This was it, one chance. Lucky Devi lined up, his systems locked onto the laser spark. Rifle! 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 He called, signaling the bomb was away. On the ground, the Rangers hunkered down as low as they could go. They heard the distinct, terrifying whistle of a 500-pound bomb falling directly toward them. This is the ultimate test of trust. Trust in your JTAC, trust in your pilot, trust in the equipment. There is nothing you can do but wait and hope. Calculations made at 500 knots were perfect. The explosion was thunderous. Dirt, rock, and smoke erupted exactly where the JTAC had pointed. And then over the radio, a new sound. JTAC, calm, professional, but with palpable relief. Good effect on target. I say again, good effect on target. Enemy fire has ceased. Thank you. They had done it. The bomb had hit the enemy position, precisely, devastatingly, without harming a single ranger. Lucky Devi made pass after pass, dropping bomb after bomb, each one walking in closer and closer to the rangers, systematically shattering the enemy assaults that had them pinned for hours. The battle on the ridge lasted for hours, but the precise application of air power by Lucky Devi and the unwavering courage of the JTACs saved Mako 3-0. It allowed medevac helicopters to eventually brave the fire and evacuate the wounded. It turned a potential disaster into a story of incredible professionalism and courage. The call sign Lucky Devi symbolizes more than just one pilot's skill. It represents the entire system, the technology, the training, and most importantly, the unbreakable trust between the soldier on the ground and the aircrew above. It's a powerful reminder that sometimes the most heroic acts aren't about charging forward, but about holding perfectly still, keeping a laser steady on a target, and having the faith to call for help when that help is a high-explosive bomb falling from the sky. If you found this story as incredible as we do us a huge favor and hit that like button and subscribe to Top Tier TV. We tell these stories to honor the skill and sacrifice of those who serve, and we want to hear from you in the comments. What's the most incredible display of military precision or bravery you've ever heard about? Let's get a conversation going. Thanks for watching. Until next time on Top Tier TV.